Greetings, everybody! Wow, it is a thunderous Thursday. A throwdown Thursday. In fact, you can check us all out over on Comics Division's Throwdown Thursday. It'll be a lot of fun over there tonight, I suspect. We've got a pretty good show lined up for you. And then we've got some other things happening just around the corner. I think we'll be working on that this weekend. There's a lot of you in the chat today. Let's say hi to each and every one of you as we kick off. Oh, and for those of you who did get a chance to watch yesterday's video, I will be reducing the volume on the background music. In fact, I may stop using background music on videos altogether, unless, of course, it makes sense. But here on this particular show, I like it. I like to have a little bit of background music. It might be a little loud. I'll turn it down. I just like it. Sounds good. Anyway, I want to say hi to y'all. So let's say hi to the amateur strategists out there, the Union of Amateur Strategists. Good to see you, my friend. Dapper Bard Games is out there. We got Captain Fandom Nerd. In fact, there's Shrap 3D and Morgan King and Vince Womack. Good to see you, my friends. We've got the Bad Cap. We've got one of the amazing wrenches out there. It's just another red shirt. Hail, Mr. Shirt. Let's see who else popped in the door today. Let's see. Oh, well, there's my favorite bear, Snortopopus Cuber. It's great to see you, my friend. Let's see who else is showing. Eric K's here. Wonderful human being and a great wrench. In fact, the master of mods, the mensch of wrenches. In fact. There's Randall Orser. What's going on? Let's see who else rolled through the door. There's Olaf Von Ness. How's it going? Olaf, John Sapola is here. Good to see you, my friend. We've got Grifton with Grimace. What's going on? Love that. Criticible, the Rainbow Knight. I'm sorry that you're tired, Criticible. We've got TPC in the house. That's right. Theme Park Casual. Mutant Bamhammer says, Oyos, all my bios. That's right. What's up? Da-da-dum-dum-dum. Let's see. Channel Surface here with one of the best mustaches on YouTube. Sean Landrigan is here. There's Steven, otherwise known as Deleted Scenes. Check out Deleted Scenes. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow is here as well. Looks like Tiberius K is here. Good to see you, my friend. Look at that puppers. Love it. Love it. Thunderheart is in the house. Good to see you. Josiah Robinson is here. He's digging the new D-Day Cobra live stream. Cobra Cast. Yeah, I've been seeing him do that. Love it. Good idea. Scott Cook is in the house. Good to see you, Scott. Let's see. My buddy Judicon is hit and miss lately. I hope everything's okay. We got OC Dobbins in the house. Dylan C is here. There's Blackia. The lovely Lisa. Sean Estep is here. There's OC Dobbins. Good to see you, my friend. DS Ford is joining us. I think I said hi to Sean Estep already. If not, hi. And then we've got Michael Weinfertner. Let's see who else popped in. Catzilla. What is up, Catzilla? Loving it. Noshy McNosh. There's Jesse, the common nerd. We got Spaceship Vampire in the house. Lots of weird spaceship stuff. There's Ironcaster. Let's see who else is rolling through the door. A few other folks. Come on. Hurry, hurry. Grim's here. Hi, Grim. Infierter. Etienne Falarudo. D-Bud Martin is joining us. Good to see you, my friend. Dun, da, 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 da. Here we go. This should be Philip Gaming. Well, boy, do I got stories for you today. And we've got bonus time after the stream. That's right. Bonus. That's right. Here we go. 6 minutes starting now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We've got lots to talk about. Not a lot of time to do it. And if you looked at the comments in the description down below, we've got a lot to talk about. I've got a video to edit. I'm going to have to get on that at some point today. Pretty excited. Tonight's going to be fun. Let's just put it that way. Looking forward to Thursday night throwdown. Let's start here with AMC Networks. A little bit of nepotism here. You've got Kristen Dolan joining the company, coming off of layoffs. Pretty sure that the Dolan family controls AMC almost completely now. It's terrible. You got Akiva moving on. Well, not really, but he did sign a first look deal with Warner. That's right. He's headed to Warner to ruin it after ruining Paramount with his buddy over there. He's going to focus on Constantine and I Am Legend. You got India recording the second biggest box office year in 2022 with $1.28 billion. Admissions are still down on pre-pandemic levels, but they're making more money. Well, inflation definitely helps in that department. You got How to Train Your Dragon. Gonna do a live action. Oh, smells like the first flop in a while for Universal. Yeah, bad idea. Speaking of bad ideas, a new Little Mermaid trailer got released, and boy, did it get ratioed. How way? Way. Completely Ursula'd with 169,000 downvotes to only 27,000 upvotes. Yeah, I have a feeling that this is going to bomb. Disney's losing audience fast, especially with what's rumored to be an Antman. By the way, I'm going to be reporting on Antman sometime tomorrow. Maybe later tonight. We'll see. You got Roku revenue falling flat in Q4, but they reached 100 million U.S. viewers. But wait, Hollywood Reporter says total active accounts are 70 million. I'm getting really tired of inconsistent reporting when it comes to this. By the way, they did have some operating losses in Q4, but their stock price shot right up through the roof. In trading that happened right after. So we'll have to see where this falls. All I know is this: Paramount Plus is going to be increasing their price once again, and they're setting to write off $1 billion with their Showtime integration, amongst other things. Again, when you shuffle the deck chairs in a corporation, you're trying to hide things, and you're trying to remove comparables. If you watched yesterday's video, which you probably should go back and watch if you haven't, it basically talks about that maneuver being done over at Disney. So there you go. In fact, Paramount is about 77 million streaming subs at Paramount Plus. So they added about 10 million in Q4. Of course, they shut off the free version of the service, as did everybody else. Man, getting weird. Peacock shut off their free version. But anyway, I'll keep going. Box office preview. Antman 3 is supposedly going to roll President's Day weekend. No, it's not. $100 million plus. I mean, it will be the highest performing film, but it's going to fall well below expectations, especially when word of mouth gets fully out, not just what they're earning from Rotten Tomatoes, which we'll talk about in bonus time. But it looks like FTX's founders, there's two secret bail signatories. Yeah. They're both out of Stanford, underwriting $250 million bail package. Wow, academics at Stanford are overpaid. Academics right now are overpaid. Truly. Charges are dropped against a reporter that was arrested at the news conference. We've all seen this video. He was just trying to cover what was happening in Ohio. Nobody really wants that, and nobody wants to answer any real questions. And I've been hearing about acid rain. You've got Ford stopping production on their electric F-150. That's right, the Lightning is, well, not happening anymore. You have Tesla going to make their EV chargers available to every EV out there. You have Tesla actually getting rid of the people, as predicted, that decided they wanted to have a union. We talked about this yesterday. No surprise there. You've got China sanctioning Lockheed Martin and Raytheon because they sold arms to Taiwan. Well, Okay. You shouldn't have a deal with China anyway, Raytheon or Lockheed Martin. You've got U.S. futures starting off before the bell even rang. And then when it did, it started to sink. We knew that was coming. The CBO projects higher unemployment and a slow exit from inflation, which means, hey, get ready. 2023 will be somewhat dismal at best. Websites of several German airports aren't reachable at the moment. I wonder why that's happening. And finally, the GOP is subpoenaing tech CEOs as part of a probe into censorship. This will be quite a bit of theater, political theater. I wonder if anything will actually happen. Probably not. But with that, hang around for bonus time. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye!
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.
Wow. Well, it sounds like I'm going to have to rework my page, my YouTube page, so that we have 6-minute dailies broken out. I need to probably do that. I think that's a good suggestion for whoever made it, the Union of Amateur Strategists and others. I'm going to work on some of the stuff in the background on the channel over the weekend. Hopefully Grant will be back and prepared to edit and things like that. We will be having an extended show. And I want to say thanks to all of these amazing human beings. Every one of these members actually helps support the channel. And as I work to be a retired person, this is also going to be a source of income. So the more members, the better, and the more super chats, the better. So I want to say thanks to members like Eric K, who actually just sent a member chat saying, boner time, I think that should be done in private. No, bonus! Normally I would say see you here, but we'll do that at the end of the stream. Let's do some cleanup and let's talk about some things that are going on in the world. And camera's a little messy. Let's clean this all up, shall we? There we go. That's not working. There we go. Man, what is going on here? Can't manage my own camera. You'd think I do this professionally. I do. All right, let's go. You got 58 of you here. We just wrapped up the actual 6 minutes of news, but there's other stuff going on I want to talk about. Like you said, I'm going to be, I didn't make it to the screening I was going to go to last night for Antman. Instead, I'm going to be going later today. And I've got an interview that I'm trying to get together with the creator of that Batman fan film, Mr. Logan, and I will I'll hopefully have that out here very quickly. So we'll get that interview together. Just trying to coordinate with my buddy Tom. Let's talk about what's going on in the world today. What's bonus time going to focus on? Of course, we can talk about Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid looks like it's going to have all kinds of issues. But before that even comes out, because mind you, I think we're a month away from Little Mermaid. You have the film that's hitting the box office this weekend, this President's Day weekend, this Valentine's Day weekend, I guess. I don't know. People misname this weekend all the time. But it's not looking real good. When you have business websites that are covering this particular film, Antman and Wasp and Quantumania, things aren't looking good. Yeah. So CNBC came out with an article on the 15th, and then they updated it slightly a minute after they launched it, which usually means they screwed up somebody's name or there was a typo or something. But anyway, it says Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania reviews. The villain is good, but the movie is bad. Let me tell you, that is a theme that I've been hearing all over the place. However, if you watched the Midnight's Edge video that was just released, even Kang's not good, according to Andre. And I think he says things that are valuable. I take his word for it on things. He's a smart guy, and he and I have similar tastes when it comes to films. So if he says that Kang isn't even all that good, that means the film must be really bad. Because if people are saying that the villain is good and the movie's bad, just imagine if the villain's bad, it's all terrible. That's not great. That's not great. A few folks, yeah, CGI and quips are not big sellers, Katsith, I would say. They used to be, but they were sprinkled in a little less. Oh, look at this. Roku's making big moves. Of course they are. Like I said before, Roku's actually going to be fine for a while. It was a pretty good investment. But anyway, key points. Marvel Studio, Antman, and Wasp in Quantum Mania currently holds a rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, 51%. We'll look at that in just a minute. This is only the second MCU film to earn a rotten rating. Well, they would normally have, many of them would have earned a rotten rating if Rotten Tomatoes wasn't artificially holding things up. And Jonathan Majors shines as Kang the Conqueror, but it's an overstuffed mess, critics say. Hard to say. All I know is this: Disney's down $1.31 at this point in time, which makes me concerned with that investment. We've got the Union of Amateur Strategists. What's up, man? Saying for $5, producers. I've been having this discussion since the TT. Who do you think I should train with? You are doing great. I'm loving bonus time. Well, thank you. Who should you train with? Grant. Grant is a good producer. He puts things together. Probably, if you can get a hold of Quarter Black, he's probably one of the best. I mean, yeah, you've got a lot of people that you can look to that. Ideally, a good producer essentially kind of has a show layout that they put together in advance. They have all the links and stories ready. They also have all of the links to any of the participants that are going to be on any panel show, along with some, quippy things that a lot of you would already be doing. The Union of Amateur Strategists as a wrench. That's kind of a traditional thing that you would do. The experts at it, I think now in that I'm close to would be Toxic Man Flu, probably one of the best producers out there. He works hard behind the scenes. How do I know? Because he's got, us, the people that are part of Comics the Show, working hard behind the scenes as well, so that we deliver high quality shows and specials and things like that. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. So there you are. Anyway, back to this real quickly. You have, their opinion on this film. Peyton Reed's previous Ant-Man installments offered the MCU a smaller than life look at what it means to be a hero. So an on the ground hero, which a lot of us, I think, like. These small stakes romps were welcomed excursions away from the apocalyptic stakes of the wider franchise and offered lighthearted counterbalance to the greater threats of the universe. Well, there was natural comedy in the first film. The second film, I believe, kind of fell off, but maybe other people would disagree with me. And I'm what happened was they borrowed the aesthetic from Ant-Man. Borrowed the aesthetic from Guardians of the Galaxy to create, the quantum realm. So it became space. Really, you should have crafted multiple different aesthetics for each of your different universe areas. I don't really like that Disney went that direction. It's an easy fix since everything's CGI, but it is what it is. So anyway, Disney's Marvel machine came calling for Ant-Man and his partner, the Wasp, Evangeline Lilly, which I hear her role is rather limited. I'll be able to comment on that later today or this evening. Now we get Kang the Conqueror, who was unimpressive in Loki. Don't care what anybody has to say like that. He played in the incredibly divisive and inaccurate Lovecraft Country. But again, now he's being Kang. This just Jonathan Majors fellow. And I'll have a very strong opinion either way once I see the film. But when he was introduced in Loki, I did not think that he was anything to worry about or contend with. As Andre said today in his review of the film, he's a somewhat incompetent bad guy. And I'm paraphrasing. Quantum Mania is at its best when it keeps things light and quippy. Weird. And of course, it's going to be the little girl's going to be the key to everything, I'm sure, because that's the way neo-Marxist propaganda works. But so anyway, so the sentiment was shared with numerous reviewers as the latest Marvel film became one of the only 2 of 31 movies that has received the Rotten rating. Like I said, I think if Rotten Tomatoes weren't artificially elevating things, I think there would have been several films that would have been rotten. Not just Eternals, this one. I mean, there's a lot of terrible MCU films. Phase 4 was mostly terrible, to be fair. Let's see. The only other film from the MCU to slip below the 60% fresh was Eternals, which got a 47 rating. Quantumania centers on yada, yada, yada. It doesn't really, because from what and again, I will have more informed opinion later today. This is a thing that bothers me. Michael Pena's absence should have been a warning. Yeah. Yeah. Because despite what I think of Michael Pena personally, outside of his acting, he was really one of the only good things in the first 2 installments. Just because he was true to his character. What's in it for me? Kind of a guy. I liked that. I really did. Yeah, the quips are the best part. Yeah, no, they're really not. What's up, guys? Scar, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's weird. That's right. It's weird. Typical MCU portraying all men as incompetent. Yeah, we're gonna get a healthy dose of that, I'm sure. Disney's new trick: the little girl will solve everything. Right. With nothing that she earned or developed during her time on screen. All true. Let's see. Yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, yeah, the latest Spider-Man film was good in my opinion, but there was little else that was compelling. And the TV shows only continued to water everything down. Regardless, this goes on and on. CNBC just really trucks it. It says, in the end, with its clumsy collision of influences, star power, CGI that is often rubbery or outright ugly, and a convoluted plot that should have an Excedrin tie-in. Dang. Quantumania is like a child's mixed media project made with paper mache, glitter, and hunks of rotting ground meat. That's from somebody at Mashable, a shill site. How old is this person? This girl? Wow, it can feel outright mean. This is from IndieWire. This is not looking good, folks. Does this sound like a good film to you? Whoo! Yeah, it's not just a burn. This is rough, guys. There truly is. She's 16. Am I the only one disgusted by this phase thing in MCU? It sounds weird sounding. It kind of made sense to kind of break it up, but I understand. I take what you're saying, Shrap. I'm trying to figure out a good way to break it down. I don't like this idea of sagas. I think I'm more bothered by the saga thing than I am by the phase thing, but I take your point. This stuff is just garbage. Let's take a quick look at Rotten Tomatoes because it's not gotten better, folks. It's gotten much, much worse for this film. And again, I'll have a more informed opinion later today. Because again, I like to be able to speak from an informed position. Antman and Quantum Mania lost 51% on 176 reviews. Michelle's got a Coke float. Good morning, dear. I hope you're doing better. My heart and prayers are with you, dear. Gonzalo Bergali says, watched it yesterday. The CGI in everything that is supposed to be organic is awful. Even the overlay of the eyes on the helmets is awful. Wow. Well, Gonzalo, great. I'm going to lose 2 hours of my life to this film. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes of doesn't sound good. And it doesn't even sound, it sounds like the only things worth paying attention to is the end credit scenes. And again, you can do good end credit scenes, which means you are capable of writing for 2 minutes. You can't write for 2 hours. That's the problem. You get 2 minutes of good and 2 hours of terrible. That's bad. 176 people reviewed this. Here's the reviews. Let's look into it. Let's go. So Mark Dudzik. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Mark reviews movies. Anyway, he says it's becoming increasingly difficult to appreciate these movies as individual pieces of media and narrative. That's interesting. Julian Little at Geek Girl Riot. I don't know what that is. I don't care much for this movie. I had more fun helping others figure out the Kang conundrum than what actually happened on screen. He scored a D. Woo! Rough. This Noah person liked it. Okay. Jordan Hoffman, Times of Israel, top critic. The movie winds up being confusing, a sin, and dull, a bigger sin. Yikes. Chase Hutchinson says, the only part of Quantum Mania that is memorable is Majors, who, without spoiling, will likely have more of a role in future films to come. One just hopes they're better than this one. 1.5 out of 4. That's a D. The different person from Geek Girl Riot didn't like it. Sharon Nicole says, enthusiastic but unnecessary, with standout performances by Jonathan Majors and Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeesh. Yeesh. I think she's supposed to be 16 in the movie. All right. I'll be watching it. We'll see. We'll see. They took out Luis. Yep. Biggles. Which, again, I mean, think what you will personally about, Michael Pena. He is a great actor in that character. It's just dumb. Olaf says that MCU was good till Perlmutter was removed from Feige's back. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Not to mention the fact that Vicky Alonso's in there. Victoria Alonso's probably one of the worst human beings on the planet. And that's saying something. Hey, what's up, Theliata? Let's see. Hey, what's going on? Tom Servo. Mm-hmm. Maestro Kai says, C-list Marvel characters save the universe. How come no one like? That's a good question. A lot of it is because they kind of strip away what is important here, which is Ant-Man, would be my guess. And because of where they're having this happen, there's nothing that people can hold on to. There's nothing tangible for the audience. On top of the fact that it's a CGI fest that doesn't sound very, very good. Katie Smith Wong says, after the mixed reviews of the last few Marvel films, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania looks set to continue the trend with the cast, especially Majors, stop this from being a complete bore. Well, there you go. Richard Brody at the New Yorker says, the hordes of visual effects artists whose names roll by in the infinity credits are the veritable auteurs of this film, with no overarching sensibility to guide them. Good criminy. Hey, what's up there, Snowdo? He was right. I'm sick of sequels and continuations. All I want is a solid standalone story. They don't know how to do that. Yeah. Why Destroyer 3466 VCs don't care about it. Well, I'm going to do a review, folks, only because I have to. So you will get more. Antman and Wasp Quantumania feels like it's trying to be a Marvel movie. Wow. The jokes are played up too much. Not everything needs to be funny. Good gravy. Trying to be many things, a movie about family, an explosive start to phase 5, and arrival of its great villain. It achieves little of all that. Wow. Because of its tone varies too widely between dense, weird, and messy. Eehoo. Barry Nemiroff says, I will never unsee MODOK. Oh, no. Jeremy Johns. Dude, really? Oh, man. Dude, fix this, Jeremy Johns. Really? One thing in the film did it for you. All right, Jeremy. Really, dude? That is soft. Tenerdy's King really is all Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania exists to do. In and of itself, it's a boring story devoid of meaningful stakes. Well, welcome to the MCU. This movie wants to give Scott more dramatic weight, but the thematic heaviness doesn't suit the series or director Peyton Reed. Yep, that's yeah. The series was always better when it was funny, and despite Rudd's best efforts, the comedy largely falls flat. Lacks any hint of humor, and no one seems interested in naturally performing their overwritten dialogues. Whoa. Doesn't sound good. Enough of that. Wow. Ant-Man movies are just basically comedies. They always have been. But they're trying to introduce a villain with a considerable amount of weight, which so far doesn't sound like Jonathan Majors delivers in Loki. Or I should have called it Wokey. I don't know. It is what it is. Hey, Christopher Dominguez is here. I'm really bummed. And I got to go watch this. Grifting with Grimace says, let's not go. That's right. Oh, man, I want to play. Now I want to play Nintendo so bad. So bad. Spaceship Vampire says, someone should tell that to Taika Waititi. But then he'd be like, not funny? Duh. What's that? Yeah. Well, he's not really genius. Jeremy Johns has moved from voice of the common man to movie critic. He likes everything. Yeah. He used to be really good at breaking stuff down. You think it's fear? Like you have too much to lose? Look, if I ever get 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, 1,000,000 subs, you know what? It's not going to change me. But then again, I'm an older guy. I'm kind of set in my ways. I know who I am. I know what I like and don't like. But I think Jeremy Johns is a little older now. Maybe thinks he's got too much to lose. Maybe there's a lot of money on the line. I don't know. I don't. If I ever change, let me know, please. Grim says, I'll just wait 45 days for it to come out on Disney Plus. Then still not watch it. Awesome. That's right. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. I liked the first Ant-Man movie. Me and Batman says Jeremy Johns did say he wished the film as a whole was better. Don't know why that review wasn't a splat. Yeah. I mean, and again, as a reviewer, I think you get to pick that. Even if you give the film a D, you can pick it's a tomato, I guess. I don't know. Snags. Oh, that's cool. Can't see this being worse than Eternals and Thor: Love and Blunder. Well, I'm gonna see it. I'll have some thoughts. Stuckman was good. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like he's been good in a while, but okay. Gonzalo says they could have added some stuff to Corey Stoll face and blue screen it, and it would have looked 10,000 times better than the stretch CGI model with the projected texture. Yeah. I'm going to be looking at this. Gonzalo says the 2 post credits, first for Kang Dynasty, right, and second for Loki season 2. I'm gonna play my favorite Nintendo. I love Nintendo. Yeah. I love Nintendo. Morgan has not seen any Ant-Man. Huh. The first movie was good. The second movie was This movie doesn't sound good. Man, I don't want to go in. I'm going to go in with an open mind, guys. I'm going to try to whiteboard my brain of all of this stuff. I might symbolically, because I need to redo the whiteboard over there anyway. I might symbolically erase some of my whiteboard over there so as to scrub this from my mind. I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, he might fear to fall into irrelevancy. I think that might be right, Vince. Next movie I'll see in the theater be John Wick 4. Right. I'm with you. I just have to see this one. I should have gone to the screening yesterday. Too much crap going on. My immediate family were the first to leave the sinking ship that is Disney. Now the entire family is fleeing the sinking ship. That's about 200 or more people and counting. I hear you. The Union of Amateur Strategists. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mission Impossible is going to be incredible. Agreed. Oh, I'm definitely going to review Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear going to crush all. I think that's my Sunday movie. That might be a Sunday movie for me. Snakes says, wait, they're advertising a Disney Plus show at the end of a DC movie now? Rough times ahead. Yes. How about rough times are here? Rough times have been here for a while for Disney and Marvel. Again, every time you restructure, this is why yesterday's video was so important. They're restructuring and moving things around for a reason. It's so that they can hide. It's so they can hide things. Again, you break ESPN out because you want to hide the fact that they're about to dump a buttload of money on rights deals. I talk about that. I've talked about the rights deals in previous videos as well. But when it comes to Disney, they have to maintain what they can to keep ESPN relevant. ESPN is an incredibly expensive entity to operate, and they've been losing audience at ESPN for quite some time. They will obviously try to tell you the opposite, but even ad tech can't support ESPN and all of that. Feliato says, are we not all relevant in the grand scheme of things? Is it better to not be famous amongst those who praise your honest opinions for what they are than not? You know what? You're right. Are we not all irrelevant? Yeah. I just want people to be honest about it. I want people to go in there and be able to give an honest opinion, break something down, cite instances where there's a disconnect. I will be doing that, by the way. I will always have my notepad with me. So, and be prepared to take notes. That's just the way I am. Hey, Krimlon is here. What's up? Olaf on S is looking forward to Deadpool 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Not so much into horror stuff, so skip Cocaine Bear, unless it's a level of scary. It's supposed to be funny as heck, Olaf, but I'll let you know. Didn't Disney lose rights to the cricket games? They did. Actually, I covered that months and months and months ago. Feliato. The IPL, they lost rights to. The Indian Premier League. And they maintained some, but they lost exclusive. They had exclusive all rights, and then they didn't vie for them in the latest round. And again, that was a cost shift maneuver that was done by Chapek. Bob would have probably paid for those rights. Hard to say if that would have made much of a difference. They did lose the majority of their subs because the IPL was lost to them. Honestly, when you look at Disney Plus, Hotstar, and all that other stuff. And that's the other problem with Disney. Disney's never forthright about what their subscriber numbers truly are. They're double and triple counting sometimes subscribers for their bundled services like Hulu and stuff like that. That's the problem. I think they're not going to get very far off the hook when it comes to Nelson Peltz. But you are correct. That is why they did lose a whole lot of subscribers, indeed. So there's that. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, guys. A little bit of dead air there. Cricket is played more than American sports around the rest of the world. So other side than the main 48 have told me that's a lot of viewers lost. It is. And they'll continue to lose more and more, honestly. Cocaine Bear sounds like a Nick Cage movie. Yeah, it does. But it honestly, it looks good. And look, we'll see is probably the best way to look at that film. I want Elizabeth Banks to do something successful. I mean, she's been in two things that I've appreciated. And she's not very, she's like all Hollywood folks. She's just not maybe intellectually as keen or in touch with reality there. That's saying it very nicely. Let's take a look at some more stuff. Now, our friends over at Bounding into Comics did a really nice breakdown of Quantum Mania. Thank you, John, for putting this article together yourself. This is Critics Trash Antman and Wasp Quantum Mania. Review scores are here for the latest Marvel Studios. Now, mind you, this was on the 14th, right? When they did this, at that point in time, Rotten Tomatoes film was rated at 55% score from 114 reviews. 63 are fresh, 51 rotten, average 5.9 out of 10. Not good. That's an F, right? A D would be 60. But a 55% Rotten Tomatoes is down to 51 now, as we just saw. The film fared far worse when isolating Rotten Tomatoes for top critics. It's a 45% score from 31 top critics with an average rating of 6 of 10. There are 14 fresh scores and 17 rotten ones. I think that number is going to continue to go down, folks. David Sims at The Atlantic gives the film a rotten score. He writes, the story is in service of a larger Marvel engine, an increasingly creaky machine that nevertheless keeps grinding away, dropping superstar performers into CGI glop because the show simply must go on. The David Fear at Rolling Stone says, Quantumania is somehow heavy without feeling substantial, almost desperate in its dourness. Holy cow. Even scattered with occasional wisecracks, it makes Eternals feel positively breezy by comparison. Good gravy. Hey, Pops, take it easy, brother. Thanks for stopping in. David Poland at Hot Button gives the movie a fresh score. However, he writes way too much of the film. Feels like they took the story they wanted to tell and then amped it up to be bigger. I actually loved many of the ideas for places and characters, but it was all just too much, distracting from the core story. Well, there you go. So Luis, whoa. try this again. Whoa, it's really scrolling fast now. There we go. Oh, look at all this. Brian Lowry at CNN gives the film a rotten score. Says that Antman and Wasp Quantumania looks on one key level establishing, or works on one key level establishing Kang the Conqueror as truly formidable and worthy villain. Yet with its plunge into inner space, Ant-Man comes up short in almost every other way that matters. Even the AP doesn't like it. Nate Adams is the only critic gives the film a rotten C+. He explains the humor is inconsistent, visuals were while weird and partially engaging are ugly, and if not for Paul Rudd's amicable charm and the 1-2 punch of Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, the MCU would be desperate need of some oxygen. Wow. Everything they're showing is like stills of Kang, right? Metacritic looks rough. They have a 50 score. Well, here you go. Here's a shill. Alonzo Durald at the Wrap gives the film a 72. Good gracious. According to Box Office Pro, and these are the numbers that I had the other day, the film is expected to make between 96 and 131 million in its opening weekend and go on to have a total domestic gross between 249 and 347. Here's what they added. Expectations should be managed when it comes to box office prospects until there's a clearer sense of quality and audience reception. So they know this thing sucks rocks. The first film made 518. Man, this is going to suck rocks. Ooh, boy. All right. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, a lot of people are going to skip a lot of DC stuff. The Flash I have to see because I have to do a panel show on it. So that's going to hurt. Yeah, there's a lot of very bad reviews, and that's a bad one from the Rolling Stone, indeed. It was Kang all along, says Ironcaster, indeed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Renfield is going to be good, I would imagine. That has Nick Cage in it. Snake says, is it possible they're dogpiling this film to save themselves a shred of credibility after shilling so hard for so many years? Possibly. They need to start dogpiling bad films is what they need to do. Because honestly, most of the reviewers don't have credibility anymore. I think that they've been... I honestly don't give them any credibility any longer. I don't know how anybody else would. Oops, sorry. I hate doing that. Okay, so now the Little Mermaid trailer is now 185,000 dislikes. It's not doing well. Yeah. 28,000 likes, though. And of course, what is going to be their statement on that? We're just tired of remakes, guys. I think you're going to see a lot of people see The Flash because of Keaton's Batman. I think that's probably true. Yeah, I can't wait for Thursday night throwdown to hear what the other folks think about the film. Well, I imagine they'll be able to give you their thoughts. It's going to be a hot mess, folks. Yeah, they did ruin Nebula and the Guardians of the Galaxy poster. And I'm surprised that what's her name went along with it. She's a beautiful lady. But it is what it is. So so much bad. So much bad. Anyway. Any thoughts out there on anything else you want to talk about? Because I'm out of stories. I really just wanted to walk through what was happening with Antman since I'm going to be forced to see it today. Can we start calling the new Flash movie Flush Point? Seems more descriptive. Yeah, I think so. I think Flush Point would be right. But I'm not going to poo-poo people who want to see it. I'm not going to poo-poo people's ideas of it. I think that's unfair. I think that if Snyder fans want to see it, that's awesome. I think if Michelle wants to see it, I think that's awesome. I know there are people who are going to go because they really do think it looks good. There are some things about it that looked good. I will concede those points, but in taking that term, yeah, Karen Gillian, that's her name. Yeah. Taking that term would be accurate because it's not like the film could be good, but they are essentially flushing away anything that had come before. So that's probably right. Yeah, the Ohio disaster is not going away. There's no doubt about it. Grim. Acid rain already. People are anecdotally sharing pictures of their cars. They had lines of people outside that gymnasium. You have a lot of very unhappy people. You unfortunately have people that have already signed a limited liability agreement in exchange for some funds. That was a bad idea. And again, this is a rail company that's backed by the largest amount of money you could possibly imagine, with the slate of a slightly darker shade, being one of the major financial institutional holders of that particular railway company. So yeah, what I do want to see, John Wick, Cocaine Bear, Deadpool 3. There's a few people have mentioned them. Renfield. There's a few out there. Tiberius K. Best of luck to you at Antman. Well, I'll try my best. Someone said that the YouTube CEO is stepping down. Huh. Might be good timing considering they're about to go through some very bad things because the Odysee guy or whatever. I'm not even sure you can say his name, to be honest with you. YouTube CEO Susan Wojciechowski. She says she's stepping down. Well, there you go. The story is out there. And again, I always go to the business sites, guys. Sorry about that. You guys are like, why are you always going to CNBC? Well, I go to a lot of different business sites, but this is from CNBC. Thank you, Eric K. Yeah, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki. I don't know. Anyway, she is. She says she is stepping down. Moments ago, YouTube CEO Wojcicki said that Thursday she's stepping down. Chief Product Officer Neil Mohan will take the lead as SVP and new head of YouTube. Wojcicki said she agreed with Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai to take on an advisory role. Oh boy, more censorship. Google looks pretty flat in trading right now. Let's see how this goes. So she's stepping down. Somebody else is stepping up. Today, after nearly 25 years here, I've decided to step back from my role as head of YouTube and start a new chapter focused on my family, health, and personal projects. That's usually, they wanted me to leave language there. She'll continue working with YouTube teams, coaching members, and meeting with creators. Oh, well, hey, I'd like a meeting. She's going to have more time for him. So yeah, this will allow me to call on my different experiences over the years to offer counsel and guidance across Google and a portfolio of Alphabet companies. So how to censor people better, I guess. The time is right for me, and I feel able to do this because we have an incredible readership in place at YouTube. When I joined YouTube 9 years ago, I worked really, really hard to prioritize censoring folks and to bring everybody up to speed with that on my leadership team. Okay, maybe I'm paraphrasing what she said there, probably. She has long held ties with founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who she let work out of her Menlo Park, California home upon the founding of Google. Wow. They rented a garage space for $1,700 a month from her. Wojcicki was working at the marketing department of Intel at the time. She joined Google in 1999 and oversaw the build of Google's advertising and analytics products for 14 years. Wow. YouTube booked $7.96 billion in advertising revenue during the fourth quarter, which fell short of expectations and was down 8% from the prior year. Well, that's because ad tech's taken a dive. So there you go, folks. Tis what it is. Yeah. YouTube Susan is going the same way as Disney Susan, out of the company. Indeed, horseradish power. Censorship on Capitol Hill. That's right. The CEOs are being called in front of the House to discuss their plotting and planning. I have a feeling the new guy will be worse, usually. Uh, 25 years of service for Google, I think. I mean, Bam Hammer. Hard to say. I mean, she could be taking a back seat to avoid scrutiny. That's quite possible. We'll have to see. They make an awful lot of money from ad. Their ad tech is incredibly important to them, and they're a monopoly in and of themselves. I think the new president's going to have to actually deal with that because there is an inquiry right now into their monopoly of all their ad sales on the platform. That's a problem. You sent me a story on Twitter. Thank you. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, thank you. 6 is amazing. Thank you, 6. Thank you, 6. All right, this will probably be the last one we go through because I do need to get to business of the day. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, there we go, to step down. The executive. The time is right for me, and I feel able to do this business. We have incredible leadership in place. Yada yada yada. Don't care. With all we're doing across short streaming and subscriptions together with the promises of AI, YouTube's most exciting opportunities are ahead, and Neil's the right person to lead us. For all the YouTubers, I've had a privilege to work with you or work against some of us, actually. You have done so much to make this platform better over the years. Wow. So shorts get over 30 billion daily views. No wonder they're pushing them so hard. Thank you, 6. Oh, the other one? All right. 6 is yelling at me. Oh, all right. We can do this. The Illuminati. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Looks like Harry Potter creator will clarify her statements on new podcast, The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling. So here you go. Rowling got her start in the Harry Potter series during a train ride in 1990, imagining characters in a story before she arrived home. The death of her mother, breakup with her boyfriend, and the abuse from her first husband played major factors in her writing, inspiring the complex lives of her characters. She completed the first installment, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, in 1995, but 12 publishers rejected it before Bloomsbury agreed to publish it. Scholastic published the book Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the United States release. Harry Potter was a huge success, getting glowing reviews. For as of February 2023, they are the best-selling book series in history, with more than 600 million copies sold worldwide, 85 available language. The original 7 books received film adaptations in an 8-part series. We already know all these things. In June 2020, Rowling shared her opinion on the wording of an article by DevX, a global development community platform. Her comment met heavy backlash on Twitter, pointed out that menstruation is not strictly limited to cisgender women. Wow. Although she acknowledged and respected that everyone has a right to live how they desire, she also stressed the importance of discussing the concept of sex in one's life. Interesting. However, her response also received criticism, with detractors labeling her as a TERF. Yeah. On the flip side of all this criticism, and from the stars that were in the film, like Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Katie Lang, and Eddie Redmayne. On the flip side, there were several other cast members that came to Rowling's defense, such as Helen Bonham Carter, Miriam Margolyes, and the late Robbie Coltrane. Bonham Carter was skeptical of the idea that one's personal life should be the deciding factor for her career. Margolyes, who is LGBT herself, felt that the vitriol toward the article was misplaced and the world would be less miserable if people were kinder to others. Coltrane criticized the way the younger generation has become trigger happy at anything that would be considered even remotely offensive. That's right. So, after several years of negative feedback over the public over her statements, Rowling will candidly address her controversy in an upcoming podcast, The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling. The podcast comes from independent media company, The Free Press, founded by former op-ed New York Times writer Barry Weiss. There you go. So, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the Free Press website, it is worth investigating, because these are the people that were doing the Twitter files and stuff like that. Matt Taibbi, Barry Weiss, and many others. So Megan Phelps Roper approached Rowling for an interview, delving into the author's life and career. She grew up in a family that followed the Westboro Baptist Church, one of the most notorious organizations in the U.S. for their heteronormative supremacist ideology. I'm not sure that any of that is true. I think that's a lot of buzzwords that are trying to, inspire certain opinions about this particular church, but whatnot. The activists left the church in 2012, and I wouldn't know because I don't know anything about this church. It just seems like whenever you start seeing those buzzwords like heteronormative, you know that there's an ideological mindset behind any of this writing. So anyway, the activist left the church in 2012 and became public critic of doctrine and customs. From her experiences, she advocates the importance of having discussions on controversial topics instead of removing them, to provide clear, unbiased information on both sides. Well, there you go. So the podcast series is set to launch on February 21, so just a little less than a week from today. So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms. And with that, I need to draw this one to a close. Wow. I really wish I could stay and cover this one. This is being done intentionally. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. There's no other way to explain it. You know. Oh, okay. So, all right. So there you go. Thank you, Cat. Said Westboro is not a church; it's a hate group. Didn't know that. So that's good to know. I really appreciate that. See, my opinion can be informed. So they are a hate group. Fair enough. It was an hour ago. Well. Yeah, I saw the plastics fire in a warehouse. Plastics and petroleum based, so that happens from time to time. And it's going to be very dark smoke. You're going to see a lot of black smoke because of anything oil based, black smoke. Anything structural based, usually brown smoke. So it is what it is. That's why vehicle fires have like black plumes, tires, so on and so forth. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, I do have to dip. I am with you. Thomas does need to learn how to drive his train better. All true. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Snakes, and everybody else in the chat. You guys are amazing human beings. I appreciate it. Do check out yesterday's video and the day and 2 days before that's video. Hopefully I'll get a third video out this week, if not today, tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to do a live reaction. Well, not a live reaction, but I'm going to record a reaction to my reaction to Antman, so I can publish that later after Thursday night throwdown. And with that, I'm going to say this. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. See ya.